I've been training jiu-jitsu for shit 20, 26 years, 25, 26 years. I started about 98, 99, somewhere around there. I did it way before it was cool. I got into it from a friend. I was supposed to go to, college for wrestling. I didn't go and I found jiu-jitsu and I was competing within 2 weeks. So jiu-jitsu kind of gave me somewhere to put my energy
Yeah,
because wrestling was over. I wrestled a long time and I got out of that and I found jiu-jitsu and here we are
nice.
so many years later.
Wrestled in high school, college, or
High school, I didn't go to college. That's why I was gonna and never went.
just right into jiu-jitsu? Nice.
Yep, yep, yep.
26 years, a long time to be training, man.
Yeah, tell me about it. My body can tell you all about
Yeah, I'm
it.
sure.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm not even close to that much time in training, and I got like I can point out every single thing and I'm just gonna have it forever. I just accepted it now.
yeah, yeah. You better accept it because it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, dude. You know what's funny? My first tournament I ever did, I was like a two-stripe white belt, and I did okay. I placed third. Like I won my first match within like the first minute. I got an Ezekiel choke, which was like to me like Ezekiel's was like everything. I was like, oh, this is
Sure,
the greatest thing in the world, right?
absolutely.
And I had like so much confidence that when I got my blue belts, I drove to Albany to do a Naga, and I was like, easy. I was like, last Naga. I was like, I hit the podium, my first tournament ever. I was like, been training for not even that long, and I was like, I'm definitely gonna like mop some people up. Dude got destroyed, like, dude hammered. My first match, some kid yanked an armbar, and I tried to get out of it, and I did, and he was trying to be nice to me in the beginning. Like he was definitely a blue belt for a minute. He was trying to be nice to me in the beginning to like give me a chance to be like, hey man, tap. And I didn't. I thought I
Oh
could get
no,
out. He's just like, all right, we're gonna go over the arm and we're just gonna crank your arm now. Like, and it's my own fault. Very humbling
I
experience.
can imagine. Yeah,
But have you competed a lot in the 26 years or?
yeah. I've done everything jiu-jitsu wise, MMA. I fought a couple times. Probably my biggest accomplishment, I won Pan Am's as a black belt years ago. It's not recent, but I did win it no-gi black belt Pan Am's. So that was pretty cool. I got that. And I've done so many Nagas, Jesus, Grappler's Quest, you name it, I've done it. I mean, MMA wise, I fought in sport fighting, reality fighting, cage combat. What else? I can't remember actually. But yeah, I've been competing a lot, a real lot. The
Yeah, so
last time I competed was probably a couple months ago. Battleground, something. It was a weird promotion. It was like kind of it was getting money for shoot. I probably should know this. Um, the promoter, it was weird, but it was pretty interesting. It was in Jersey. Um, it was just it's probably one of the weirdest things I ever fought for because outside the cage was like they were doing like auctions and there wasn't many people there. I don't know. Battlefield, something like that. Battlefield, it was like, for like military or something. But
mhm.
it was
Okay,
almost like Heroes on the Map, but a lot smaller. A lot smaller.
gotcha. Okay, so
But
how
yeah,
I'm interested to ask, how was the experience between, like, what was the difference between competing at Pan Am's versus competing at like a Naga or something like that?
very different. The IBJJF ones are so different anyway.
Yeah.
They run them very different. Um, I think it's a little more chaotic with the Nagas. I mean, I haven't done one in years, so I mean, I love Kip to death, so hopefully he doesn't kill me. Um, Yeah, they were used to be very chaotic, and from what I hear, they're run a lot better than when I used to compete in those Nagas. I mean, I did them when we were still in high schools, and it was just chaos, absolutely just people everywhere. And then when Battle of the Beach started with the big convention center down in Wildwood, that was like crazy. It was so big. But then you go
Mhm.
to like an IBJJF one, like a big one, and it's just run like they almost tell you exactly when you're gonna go. So it's pretty good. So I just think back then it was run better but I don't know about nowadays.
Yeah, that was the experience when I did when I did some small tournaments like the Good Fight,
I did that.
Naga. I think it's not Grappler's Quest. It's something else where they do the round robin tournament. The logo is like orange. I forget what it is, but
Yeah,
that
yeah.
versus like an IBJJF tournament is way different.
Oh yeah,
Way, way, way different. Not I mean not only like gi to no gi, but just I don't know, like the environment is very different. It's
100%. I
yeah.
agree. Totally agree.
And what about super fight wise? Like, have you done a lot of super fights? Or...
A couple, yeah. I just think it's just competing's competing. I don't know. I guess I've been competing for, I mean, practically my whole life. So it's like any competition is pretty much the same. You know, if it's MMA, jiu-jitsu, it's kind of all the same. I mean, what's the difference? You're getting punched or kicked. I mean, the thought process is the same. I mean, you're still walking in the cage and somebody's still trying to hurt you, you know? So it's like every fight's pretty much the same.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You kind of glossed over the difference between MMA and jiu-jitsu. I've never had an MMA fight ever. I took my first striking class like a few weeks ago. To me, huge. It was a huge difference. Like I was like, somebody kicked me in the leg. I was like, holy shit! Like this is like
Yeah. I mean, competing wise, I say this all the time. Like competing is the easiest thing to do. The training is what sucks. It sucks training for MMA because you know you're going to get punched in the face several times when you go to train. It's like training for jujitsu. Where you're like, oh, I'll roll. I could take a break here and there. You can't really take breaks with MMA training because you get punched in the face.
yeah,
Nobody likes getting hit.
yeah. Can't hang out in side control.
No, not with the people I train with. No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
No
that's
way.
all. So, how did you hear about Heroes on the Mat?
That is a great question. I think I saw it on online somewhere, and I was like, "Wow, that seems like a really cool idea." And then I started talking to the promoters and stuff, and it just seemed like good guys. I'm like, "That's something I want to be involved in." The only thing that was sucked is that it was in Long Island, and I'm in Jersey, so you know, get my people there and everything else to corner me, and it was just difficult for the last one. And then he said he was coming to Jersey, and actually, it's less than 10 minutes from my house is where you're putting this show on. So I'm like, I'm fighting. I got to get on that. So. And then he couldn't find me an opponent forever, so it was like tough.
Yeah, it was cool, man. Because the first two events we did when it was in Long Island, it was such like a new thing. Under like at first, it was just first responders,
Yeah,
probably like police corrections. Then the first event went so well that when they did the second event, it was like growing at like a very large rate. Like people from all over the country, like messaging Joe and
really,
saying,
that's
"Oh,
awesome.
can I come out? Can I compete? Like when are you guys coming to us?" And it's like the one that he was putting on now. Like it was kind of like we had to go to Jersey. This Jersey has very good jujitsu.
Yeah,
It is like
yeah,
I never knew this. Like I knew you had like very good academies and very good guys down there, and girls too, obviously. But I didn't know like how like big of like a hotspot for jujitsu it is.
absolutely, absolutely. And then I train wherever I go, and it's very different in Jersey. It's we
Okay.
have such talent here. We really do. We're blessed in Jersey because of the talent we have. Like everywhere you go, north, south, central, there's someone to train with. Everywhere, everywhere. It's crazy, and especially my team is so big. It's just pretty much anywhere I go, they just open you, bring you right in. It's
Yeah,
great.
we saw it with the first two events because especially the second event, is like Jersey took over, man.
I
Yeah,
believe it. I
there
believe it.
was one school where like it was eight competitors on the car. We were like, this is great, and everybody was making the drive. Everybody was making that drive on the Belt Parkway, sitting in an hour and 45 minutes of traffic for 7 mile stretch.
Yeah.
Then getting there,
Actually,
then weighing in.
I think that's a school. One of the guys, I actually my opponent. I think it's Shark Tank, right?
Yes, yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's where my opponent's from.
That's awesome. So how and where do you train out of now?
I'm Team Henzo Hollis Gracie. Plus, I train all. I mean, I have a friend Joe Allert that has his own school. Anyone that takes me in, I'm like a gypsy these days. I train everywhere. I've been around so long. Everybody just lets me train wherever I want. So it's nice.
That's awesome. Like the drop in experience, right?
Especially Jersey, like we just said, there's so many places to go. You know, if I want to take a drive, I go way down south, go to train with Tom DeBlas. So it's great. Jersey is amazing with jiu-jitsu. It really is.
Yeah. It's one of the things that's opened up a lot, even for me personally, like doing this, just interviewing the competitors and doing the commentating and things like that. My network of gyms that I'm familiar with now as a blue belt is insane.
I can imagine.
Before it was like, 2 3 gyms. It was like my first coach I used to train with, he moved over to this spot, and like, oh, my buddy trains here, and like dropping in an open mat every now and then. Like I have a whole Rolodex of people and gyms now that like, if I was somewhere traveling, I could shoot a text over. But or if somebody was traveling and they asked me, I'd be like, oh yeah, go train with this guy here. Like this is a good guy here. It's very interesting. How has that network built or been built for you just over the years?
It started, like I said, like when I started, there wasn't many schools, and then I started with kind of like a Team Hoyler Gracie, and then we just kind of switched over to Henzo, and Henzo's. I mean, he's everywhere. I mean, everywhere you go, there's a Henzo school, an affiliate somewhere, everywhere. Not even this state now. Now he's everywhere, and he doesn't live too far from me either. So it's being in this team is just amazing because I mean, all the people that have come from Henzo. I mean, our team is kind of ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, it really is. Just the names in general, like
Mhm.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even the like the Henzo black belts or like just if you go down the chain, it gets crazy from there. When you look at like the family tree of jujitsu, it's grown a,
absolutely.
a lot just from my perspective, a lot over the last 5 years. Like I see, especially in like in my job in my department, I see a huge trend of like a lot of people like not jumping on the bandwagon, but starting to like recognize jujitsu as like a thing, almost like how UFC was with mixed martial arts in the beginning days. Have you seen that yourself too? Like more. I don't want to call them normal people because we're all normal people, but just more people who would have never. Oh, well, yeah. I was about to say like, oh well, me maybe not so much, but but um, how would you like? Do you see a lot of people like starting to recognize jujitsu as like a mainstream thing?
Especially like you just said, work wise. Actually, one of the DT instructors here in Monmouth County at the academy, and our whole program, our DT program, is like MMA Jiu Jitsu based, and that's what the state has gone with now. And it's so different from like say when I went through the academy, they were still doing joint manipulations and that kind of crazy stuff that I can't believe we actually taught people. And now I get to teach Jiu Jitsu to these people that they're using, and like it's so changing. Like people do recognize the name and they recognize jiu-jitsu actually works now, especially with law enforcement. And it's like huge at the NJ Leo guys. I'm really close with them, and they know since I've been doing jiu-jitsu, I've been trying to get it in law enforcement for years,
Mhm.
and it fell on deaf ears. But now it's just amazing. The whole state, the whole program for all the academies is jiu-jitsu and MMA based. So it's amazing, especially for somebody like me that's been doing this for so long to see it, and just to see people like when you show too many academy, they're like, oh, this shit actually works. Yeah, I we've been doing this for a while. It does work, and like some people need that to buy in with it. It's great. It
Yeah,
really is.
I agree. Even my experience, like I don't have too much time on. I went through my first academy in 2015. And when I went through the NYPD academy then, and there was guys that trained. Like there was a DT instructor that was a purple belt. There was another DT instructor that was there. That was, I think he was a purple belt at the time at Unity, and he was training in Manhattan. And he's a black belt now. He's savage. He retired. Like all he does is train. So it's like my dream life. But they were part of the DT team, and it was like first being implemented to like try more jujitsu instead of the baton and the strikes and this and that, get back and all that stuff. I
Right.
mean, they still teach that, but even now, with my department going through the academy, like I see the DT instructors, I see the mat room, I see all the law enforcement clubs, the corrections, the fire
Which is
department.
amazing.
Huge, yeah, huge network effect of just, I mean, you just go on Instagram, you type in BJJ Club, you get like thousands of results. A lot of them are cops, firemen, corrections,
100%.
things like that. What do you think needs to be done to push it even farther?
Actually, to be totally honest, I think exactly the path it's on. Just keep going with it. Um, it's just like I was just saying before. Like it's so good now. Exactly what they're teaching. I mean, we have to fine tune a little bit because it's still new and figure out what works and doesn't work. But I think everything exactly is on the right path right now, especially with the teaching. We do in-service stuff now too. It's not just in the academy. We have to do a certain amount of hours each year, so we have to teach a whole. I have a big department, so it takes a week or two to get my whole department. But we have to do that too. I'm sure and it's just great. It's just I like exactly where it's going. I do.
Yeah, me too. I think it's definitely a good thing. It's a positive. Even in my short time span, I've seen a lot of growth with it. With if somebody's watching right now and they're part of an academy, not as like a recruit, but like let's say they're a DT instructor or they're an instructor at a academy somewhere in the country, what could they do without getting involved of changing legislation or this or that, just on a training recruit level right now to incorporate a little bit of jujitsu? Like it could be as simple as listen, teach a Kimura grip, or teach her this or teach her that. Like, what would be the first step to start implementing it into like some type of training program in your experience?
Like what to teach them?
Yeah, or I guess a better
Definitely.
question to ask is like, how do you begin to introduce it to a police department? What do you think is the most effective way?
I think you definitely go with takedowns first because we see all the time all these terrible videos online. We talk about it all the time. You see these cops that don't know really what they're doing, and it's not their fault. They just weren't trained correctly. Maybe two, three guys should be able to control one guy. He's drunk, high, fine, that's fine, but they should be able to control him knowing what they're doing. Takedowns and just positional control, especially on the ground. You know what I mean? You don't even have to teach them, I don't want to say submissions because they're not submissions in law enforcement, compliance holds. You don't have to go to the compliance holds. I would say definitely takedowns. Takedowns and just positional control once you get on the ground, how to hold somebody and be able to grab somebody where they can't hurt you, but you're in control. Those are the things that people really, really grasp onto that I see that when they don't maybe don't think jujitsu works and they get taken down and they get held down and they can't get up, they're like, oh, maybe this works. Because a lot of times you take somebody down and hold them, it's just by the way of you grabbing somebody that they're like, oh shit, this guy knows what he's doing. And they do calm down a lot of the times. In what I've seen. So I definitely takedowns and definitely just how to hold people and control people, especially on the ground, is I think the most important right now.
Have you ever had people come back after they've been instructed or gone through your academy to say like, "Yo, this works," like, or had an experience?
Every class. And we get that they want to come back and teach with us now too. We're getting that a lot. Everybody wants to teach because it's just great. So any jujitsu guys that come through the academy are like, how do I get back? I want to be an instructor. You're like, all right, well, you got to go through what we went through, but
Yeah.
it's great. We get such good feedback. Like we have them fill out every academy class they fill out, and the biggest thing we get is how great the program was. Are they blowing smoke? I hope not, but it seems that they have a great time and it seems like they learn a lot. So I
I've heard this saying a lot. Like every recruit should be a minimum of a purple, not a purple belt, a blue belt. Sorry.
close to, I would say, close to.
Yeah. I mean, that's like tough. Most people on average, what would you say, blue belt, like 18 months, 2 years,
Give or
depending on.
take. It always depends on the person. Like I hate that time stuff. It depends on the person.
That's a
And I,
good.
I know I know some
That's a
people that
good
probably
point.
should have them in 2 years. It's but
That's a great point. Do you think that has to do with experience, pedigree, whether it's wrestling, judo, stuff like that? Because
absolutely,
a judo white belt is very different than just a
of
wrestling.
course. And I mean, if you train too, a D1 wrestler comes in. Now he could have no
I'm getting
jujitsu
squashed
experience.
immediately. Yeah, I'm getting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
like
knows what he's
100%.
doing. He could have no jujitsu in the world. You're gonna work for that. He's gonna put you through the ringer. Because he just knows his body. He knows how to control himself, and he knows his hips and everything else. And those are, they're rough. Any wrestler's rough. So it's just,
Even if you do like if you're training in the gi, you have like tricks in like a loop choke or a
sure.
guillotine or something like that. But
Mhm.
even then, man, like wrestling is such a good base. I have a so when I first got my blue belts and I was trying to compete a lot, there was a kid that came to the gym. It's the old gym that I was training at, and he wasn't like a D1 or wrestler or anything like that. He just wrestled. He wrestled a lot. He was very very good. And this is when I was like first getting into loop chokes. I thought they were like the greatest things in sliced bread. I was like, this is
They
incredible.
are.
It's such a sneaky thing. It was so stupid. But I remember specifically, I tried to catch him in a loop choke, and he just flips right over me and just bases out. And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, all right, this is a like, I need to learn how to wrestle. This is a problem. Right then and there.
Yeah.
Would you say wrestling you think is the best base to if you're going to be transitioning into
I
jujitsu?
mean, I'm totally biased. I've been wrestling since I was a little kid, but yes, I mean, let's be serious. Look at every UFC guy, that's really, really good. They have some kind of wrestling background. Like, I mean, you have to. You have to in this sport. I mean, to go really high. Anybody, if you want to really compete, you have to have some kind of wrestling background. Judo, maybe even that too. That's totally fine. But a wrestling background, I think it's the toughest sport I've ever been involved in. It's great to get into jiu-jitsu from a wrestling background because your hips are there, everything's there already. Certain things don't have to be taught to the wrestlers, so that they'll just pick up and they'll fly through. Blue belt, they'll get it usually quicker. But
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely seen it a lot too. What's funny is I've seen it with my own kids too, because I have my two boys. They're in the kids class. I mean, 5 and 3 years old, so they're just running in there. But we had I had my 5-year-old try a wrestling class. Not only did he look like he enjoyed it more than the jujitsu, but it looked like naturally, like he just got it. Maybe it was because he's been
That's
in
great.
jiu-jitsu for like a year. Oh, it was incredible. Oh, I'm telling you, dude. When I was watching, I was like, "This is sick." I was like, "He's gonna be 15. He's gonna mop the floor with me," and that's totally,
It is what it is.
yeah, right,
That's when you cheat, though. That's when you get your loop chokes back out.
right. Yeah. But I saw him going at, and again, like he had no gi on, so it was different for him. It just I felt like it seemed more natural, especially for like the little kids to start with wrestling because they were just going at it, and it's hilarious. By the way, watching 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds go at it's the best thing. I could watch it for like hours. It's great. They're like made out of rubber. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, the wrestling base for jujitsu, to even if you're like training jujitsu now, like I will never start a round unless I'm specifically working on something. Like, all right, I'm trying to work on guard retention. Like maybe I'll start. But even then, like, would you say to somebody who is a white belt or a blue belt now, like, and they want to get into takedowns, they want to get into wrestling, what would be like your advice to them to start?
Find somebody that knows what they're doing to teach you, because there are a lot of guys out there, wrestling wise, that think they know what they're doing and they don't. You got to find somebody that actually can teach you the wrestling. That's one of the good things. There's not a lot of good wrestling schools around. That's the problem. It comes to maybe somebody at your jiu-jitsu schools teaches the wrestling. Was he good? Does he really know what he's talking about? I see that a lot of times it can be a problem, but there are wrestling schools out there. But it's tough for some people. You're going to go to jiu-jitsu, you're going to go to a wrestling school. Now what? You're going to go to another stand-up school. There are schools in Jersey that have everything, but not all of them do. So sometimes you have to go to different places, and that stinks. But I would definitely find something reputable to get my wrestling. Absolutely.
I've seen a lot of clubs near me, specifically for high schools and stuff like that, high school kids. But listen, if they take adults, like why not? Like I've jumped into the kids wrestling club before. Like
Why not?
just don't have an ego, because
Yeah. Same thing
you're
with
gonna get
jiu-jitsu. I
taken
mean,
down.
how many times,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
definitely
You're gonna get taken down by a 16-year-old, and you're gonna feel
could
bad.
happen.
Yeah, 100%. So for your match coming up for Heroes on the Mat, you have people going with you, or like what's your plan? Or
Yeah. It might be my crowd might be obnoxious. I mean,
that's good.
I'm nervous about that a little bit, but because I haven't fought in a while and everybody's wanted to see me fight, and it's a close one. It's a round, so yeah, I should have a crowd. Definitely, I'm not worried about that. um, they're going to be obnoxious. It is what it is.
Hey, listen,
It is what it is.
I've told this to every single person that's asked me about the event or that I've spoken to about the event. The energy and like the culture at the event is nothing like I've ever experienced before. Because
I can
first,
imagine.
first of all, it's a bunch of cops getting locked
Yeah, that's what
into
I'm worried about.
getting locked in. But hear me out, right? It's a bunch of cops getting locked into a cage to have a grappling match with another cop that they probably never met before from a completely different department and might be
Yeah,
a completely different section of law enforcement. But at the end and during the event, it has been wholesome throughout the entire thing.
I'm
It's
sure.
it's such like a I don't think you can really get that with like any other like
It's a different
bubble
culture.
events. Yeah, it's totally different, man, because like they're all savages, um, but also they're all super chill and like they're all looking out for each other, but they all want to
Sure,
rip each other's head off and they all want to win.
sure.
And it's
And nobody
it's
wants to
such a
lose.
yeah, exactly. And it's such a good atmosphere. Like I said this for the first two shows. I've never been to an event where everything's done and like the team are breaking down, lights in the cage, and like the announcer's gone, the microphones are off, like my headphones are off, and everybody's still there. Like nobody has left. Like nobody's run into the parking lot to like try and get out to beat the traffic like you see at like other sporting events and things like that. Like everybody stayed, like other competitors, like their crew meeting this crew, like saying hello, like, oh, come train with. And I know jujitsu is like that, just in general, but jujitsu mixed with first responder, it was like a super combination to get that high energy, like high competition, but also wholesome at the same time. So it's good, man. It's a good time. I'm very excited for this one in Jersey because Jersey is showing up
Can't
big.
wait. And plus, too, like I said, the NJ Leo guys, it's kind of like the same thing. If you've ever been involved in one of those,
Mhm.
those guys are awesome. Like you go to one of those open mats, it's the same kind of way. Like we train for a while, then it's like a bunch of people sitting around bullshitting. Like it's like networking. To be totally honest with you, I've met so many
Yes,
people in different departments that have helped me do shit at work, or they call me for stuff that just because I met him at jiu-jitsu. I met him at open mat, and that NJ Leo thing started years ago, and it was a great thing, really great thing. And I can't, those guys, I love them, and they really have a good thing going.
they're doing a great job. I'll tell you that.
Uh,
Their Instagram page, just their networking in general. Listen. I've
yeah,
seen the pictures of the open mats. There's a ton of people there. There's a
I'm at
lot.
every one.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's great. It's great, man. And
And you
I'm
have
so.
everything for people that never trained before to black belts.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
crazy. It's
yeah.
absolutely insane.
I'm glad you mentioned the networking too, because my last interview I kind of got into that a little bit, and I was like, man, I know so many people from jujitsu wise that are in narcotics, part of the academy. This guy's a chief here. I'll give you a quick backstory. I went to the police fire games in 2017 with the NYPD, and it all awesome. Job sponsored it. We were there warming up, and this guy comes over because we have the NYPD shirts all like branded out, and he's like, "Hey, you guys, NYPD?" Yeah. He's like, I was like, "Where are you?" He's like, "Oh, Lake Success," and I'm like, "Lake Success." I was like, "Oh, I kind of know where that is," and I was like, "Oh, nice. What's your position?" He's like, "Oh, I'm a chief," and I'm like, "This is crazy." And here I am, like a 2-year cop, and I'm like, "Hey, chief, how's it going?" Like, but to me, it's like, and now after the years, training at different gyms and like with heroes on the mat. Oh man, the networking is insane. I know probably six or
Right.
seven people that I could call right now if I had like a case at work or something like that, and I needed help, especially in Jersey.
That's what it's all
Um,
about.
Answer in 2 seconds, and that is worth its weight in gold. In especially in law enforcement. Oh man,
Sure.
it's like huge, definitely huge.
Sure.
So, what would be your message to anybody who's gonna show up for your match?
For my match,
Yeah.
I don't know much about my opponent. He doesn't have much online. It doesn't seem like he competed a ton. So it might be boring in the beginning when we figure each other out. But I think once, from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, he knows what he's doing. So I just want to get to the ground and figure this out. It's like playing chess, like we all say. I just want to get down and figure it out and see what we got, see who's better. So I know he's younger, much younger than me. I got some years on him. I got maybe he keeps saying I got experience on him. We'll see. I don't know, but
Hey,
I'm just excited. I'm really excited. I don't know how many of these I've left. I'm old, so let's. I just want to do it.
it's awesome. Listen, I'm excited. I'm gonna be there commentating. I'm gonna. It's for me. It's like the time of my life to get to see it, but. It's definitely going to be exciting. The high level matches, the black belt matches, are always awesome to watch because there is definitely a difference between, white belt, blue belt to the like just the you said that figuring out stage. It's like the tension builds,
Oh
because
sure.
no,
Especially if something happens you don't like very much, and you're like, oh shit.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Like
yeah,
I don't want it to go this way, but here we are. So let's go.
yeah, for
That's the
sure.
best.
Well, listen, Norman, I
Yes.
appreciate you doing this.
No
I'm going to be
problem.
excited for it. A lot of people are going to be showing up at this event. I know.
Yeah.
I think floor seats are already sold out.
That's what it says.
Yeah, if you're watching this now, like, listen, get your general admission, like, buy them now because I think this event might actually sell out. Like, even at the door, they might have to turn people away.
I might
Unless
agree with that.
unless we speak to the fire marshal and we figure it out. But
Yeah.
listen, no, it's been a pleasure, man. I'm definitely
Yeah.
excited to see
Thanks.
the event. And for anybody who's watching right now, like, comment, subscribe, and if you see us, if you see myself, Norman, like, come up, shake hands, say hello. We'll
Absolutely.
do some networking in, and it'll be a good time.